I'd like to thank Elaine and Stephen for their service on the board. Over the years, we've served together for over 20 years. When I think about Elaine, when I was at Mountain View as an assistant principal 20 years ago, I went through a difficult time while I was there, and she called to check on me at home, and I have that memory as something that I hold dear. And Stephen, in his years on the board, has quick to, every time we have a break, step in and ask, how you doing? How's your family doing? Those personal connections make a difference, and that sense of family that they create from the board through our organization, I think, is what makes Mesa so special. And so they set the example for the rest of us about how to treat people, and I appreciate their leadership in that area, and I've appreciated them as thoughtful, kind leaders on the board. We're going to miss you desperately, and I thank you again for your service.
Steve, you served 12 years. You were president, I think, 4 or 5 times, and you have done an incredible job. This community owes you so much. You did such a great job. You were steady, you were forthright, you were always very candid. I found working with you to be a real pleasure, and I always knew that the district came first, that the families, the students, the staff, everybody was very important to you.
One of my favorite traditions Stephen has as a board member is we are assigned every year to speak at a graduation. And Stephen has elevated that to an art form. He meets with those student councils through the year leading up to graduation. He talks to them about what they're doing, and he gives them almost like leadership coaching. And he talks to them about goals financially they have for their council and how they can get money to accomplish what they want to do for their schools. And then he helps figure out a way to help them get some funds to accomplish what they're wanting to. He is a blessing to those schools. And when he shows up to speak at graduation, they know him and love him because of the time he has invested in their campuses and with their students during that previous year.
So Stephen, I think the first memory I really have is probably at some point, and there was multiple times where we'd meet one-on-one to review the numbers and be accountable to the financial side of the house. I'm responsible for several areas of the district, but that's obviously a very important one. And we would get together, and he would sit down, and we'd walk through what we were doing. And I appreciate that accountability. I also really appreciated his understanding and willingness to listen to not only just the numbers, but the story behind the numbers, and respect that there is a process to all of this, and that it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes communication.
We were watching in the Piper Theater the film Most Likely to Succeed. Elected officials from all across the state were invited to attend, and our board was there. And afterwards, I had a really nice conversation with Steve. And he talked about his commitment to innovation and to thinking about teaching and learning in new ways. And I could see his desire to not just be stagnant and stale, but to look at new ways of benefiting the lives of children and helping them grow and progress as learners. Grateful for Steve and for his commitment to not only the Mesa Public Schools, but to me and my school community. And Steve, I wish you well in the years to come.
Elaine, I don't even know where to start. We've been close friends for a long time. I know that you also served 12 years. Yours is a little unique because I had the pleasure of serving 2 terms with you. And then you stepped away, and a group of us had the nerve and maybe the unbelievable foresight to come back and approach you and ask if you would run again 6 or 8 years later after you left. And you did that. You did that for this community. You did that because you cared very deeply on the leadership.
Elaine Miner is brilliant in so many, many, many different ways. She is definitely brilliant, but that's not what makes her special. Elaine is special because she blends heart with brilliance, and she leads with her heart. In everything that she does, she brings her heart into play, and that's what separates her from just about everybody else I know. Elaine, I will forever be sealed to you as a friend. Avery and Reed do go to Zaharis, your grandbabies, and I know while you may be stepping down from the governing board, you're not stepping down from being actively engaged in the community, and I know you'll be doing great things, and I hope to do some of those things alongside you, dear friend.
When I was getting introduced to the governing board, which is kind of a strange process for us. We kind of bring people into this tiny little room that we have our study sessions in, and the first thing the superintendent started to introduce me, and prior to being here at Mesa, I was working in the private sector running a company, and I still remember Elaine saying, "Oh, good, we have somebody who's familiar with the business world." And I don't know, I hope I've lived up to that expectation of bringing both the private and the public sectors together and trying to understand how to run the district from both sides. And so I just really appreciate working with Elaine. She's been an amazing president, and I'm going to miss her. And I really hope that whatever's next is exciting and fun and probably a little less stressful than it's been lately.
Serving with Elaine Miner on the school board has been a privilege and a joy for me. Her willingness to step up after already doing 8 years of service and run again has blessed our district immeasurably. Being the president of the school board is tough in the smoothest of times, and Elaine has had the job of presiding over us for 2 consecutive years during some tumultuous time for Mesa Public Schools. I think one of her legacies will be the Positive Peers program, bringing these service and comfort dogs into our campuses, and I know it is a blessing to the students that they interact with at their schools, and it will be a long-lasting legacy. Elaine, your sacrifices and contributions to Mesa Public Schools are unparalleled, and we are so thankful for all you have given us. We are better because of you.